I'm in love with my boyfriend's brother. I'm in love with my boyfriend's brother. I've been dating my boyfriend for 3 years, am currently a senior in college, and he's recently started talking about marriage. I don't think I'll ever be able to marry him. It's currently a struggle to see his face and not be pounded with guilt. I think I fell in love with his brother a little more than a year ago, but still had a thing with him since a little after I met him. No, I didn't immediately start fucking him, if that's what you think. Me and him just clicked more than I did with my actual boyfriend. It's actually strange when I think about it, because I hated him when I first met him. He's cocky, arrogant and sarcastic, and that's something I love about him, although it infuriates and pushes everybody else away from him. But he's different around me, he's sweeter and he confides in me and doesn't let anybody else see that side of him. I know nobody would ever approve of the feelings I have for him, because nobody really approves of him, period. He's sort of the black sheep of their family. We've never had sex before, but the sexual tension has been there since day one, and sometimes it gets really difficult. A few months ago, I told him my feelings when I was drunk and discovered that he returned them, and we made out. I felt horrible about it in the morning. We both decided it would be best if we just forgot it happened, because he's really close to his brother and I didn't want to tear their relationship apart. But it's weighing on me, and it's getting harder to pretend like there's nothing there. Him and his brother share an apartment, and last week, when I was over there, I saw this girl leaving his room, wearing his shirt, and I had to leave because I couldn't handle it. But I love my boyfriend too, he's absolutely perfect and my parents and friends adore him. I think he knows too, because one time he told me he's jealous of the way his brother gets me to laugh. Sometimes when I go to his apartment to supposedly see my boyfriend, I'm really just going to see and hang out with his brother. When I sleep over, occasionally I'll sneak out of his room after he falls asleep, and his brother and I will take a walk together. I know that's pretty innocent, but I can't imagine my boyfriend finding out. I don't know what to do anymore. I thought if I ignored our connection, then it would go away, but it's still there, every time we look at each other. My life feels like a Nicholas Sparks book. My brother told me he's in love with me, and I'm scared it's going to tear apart our family. Some background: my mom, who was an alcoholic, cheated on my dad. He got custody of me when I was 11. I was an only child. It destroyed him. He slipped back into alcoholism, but after 2 to 3 years on and off a drinking problem, he remarried my brother's mother. So we're related by marriage. Since then, my stepmom has been pretty controlling of him and his time, which I think he likes since it's like stable attention. And although I want to see my dad more and don't like her very much, I understand. He's happy, I'm happy. She treats my new brother like the Lamb of God and kinda ignored me, and so did my dad, and like every small mistake I made she would call me out on. She kind of bullied me, and still does. Last time I brought my ex of 1 year home, she called me a slut and my dad just stood there. Because of this, my big brother sort of took their place. He drove me to school from 8th grade onwards, made my lunches, we cooked dinner, played video games together, etc. We sort of grew up and we were very close. Let's call him Jay. So, today we went to the beach together with some of his friends, who made fun of him for having the hot sister. I took the compliment, but he was acting different about it. One of his friends was flirting me hard, and I thought he was okay, so I went along it. We started making out and he was touching my ass until Jay lost his shit. He blew up at his friend, and when I told him to calm down, he told me he was trying to protect me and that his friend had STDs. I was like, okay, lol, I mean, you could have just told me that and I wasn't planning on having sex with him, but like, you're acting like a jealous boyfriend, you're my brother. He looked like he was about to say something, turned bright pink and went to the water to cool off. He came back like 10 minutes later and it was all good after that. He kind of has a temper, so I didn't think this was that unusual. But then again, looking back, I think there were a lot of signs that he started feeling that way about me. After the sun went down and his friends were tuckered, we went to play frisbee with our glow-in-the-dark frisbee. After, we sat by some rocks and just talked about stuff. He said, "Do you love me?" And I was like, "Of course, I love you, you're my brother." And he started listing the things he loved about me and some major creepy shit. Like how I smelled when I was asleep, or the way sweat drips down the small of my back, stuff like that. I tried to laugh it off and was like, haha, sounds like you're in love with me, and he was like, so you do understand, I'm so happy you feel the same way, and kissed me. I was frozen. I didn't even realize what was going on, like WTF. I pushed him away, and I was like, Jay, stop, you're my brother, and he said, do you really still think of me as a brother after that? And I was like, yes. I pushed him away some more and he told me that he would be coming to my room tonight. I said, what the fuck, don't. I'll never see you, that was, and he told me that he knew by the way I looked at him and said his name and said I love you, that I wanted this and caused this all to cascade, and that the build-up took 4 years, but that it was worth it for love. My room doesn't have a lock, because of my stepmom paranoid and searching it for drugs and ALC, so I told him to stay away from me. He put his arms around me forcefully and told me I looked sexy in my bikini, then just winked at me and started walking back. After he left I started crying, I don't even know why. I feel disgusting. I went back to my room and that's where I'm writing this. It's 5 p.m. and I don't know if he's gonna come in my room or not. I'm scared to tell my parents, because I feel like they'll pin this on me. I don't know what to do or what to say to him. Edit, I'm at my friend's house. I texted my dad a summary of what happened, but I didn't tell him where I was and he left me on read. I feel like he's gonna pick them over me. I'm in a long-term sexual relationship with my brother. I wrote about this over in another subreddit, which he still doesn't know about, GUH, so this isn't exactly a new confession, but since our lives have been changing a lot lately, I guess I've been spending more time thinking about it. We've been sexually active with one another for nearly 10 years, he's my fraternal twin, and although we've lived together throughout that period, for whatever reason no one has ever seemed to find anything strange about the fact, or that neither of us is interested in dating other people. Lately I know he's been playing with the idea of moving to the other side of the state, which would actually be far away from everyone we know. We could actually make a new start, and introduce ourselves to people as BF/GF, as opposed to brother and sister, and needing to be so cautious about what we do in public. Which would be amazing. But then both of us would need to come up with fake stories and maintain a different identity, so no one would suspect. I don't know. It's both exciting and terrifying. Edit, so I wasn't expecting to have this many hours of posts to reply to. I need to head to bed, I'll be back to reply to the rest tomorrow morning. Edit 2, holy crap, you guys, 2 pages of comments overnight. Straight face. I've got to go to work, but will do my best to respond to anything else that might filter in.